Hello everyone. So this video will be a little bit different from my usual fish keeping videos because it's not going to be specifically about fish. I guess in my previous videos you have seen these 3 IKEA tanks. I've made a few videos about these fish tanks and this enormous Echinodorus Amazon plant growing in one of them. So right above these fish tanks I have my vivarium in here. I call it a rainforest vivarium because it has high levels of humidity. So in this video I will talk about this vivarium, and I will also install new lights on it. We have a new LED lamp from HYGGER, and I will also talk about what sort of maintenance I'm doing on this vivarium. Well, first of all, I'll start with a bit of with a few details. The reason why I'm calling this vivarium rather than terrarium is because in my understanding terrariums are designed specifically for animals, for creatures that live in those spaces. But in my case I don't have anybody living in here. Well, there is some cleanup crew such as springtails, isopods, and recently I discovered some tiny snails living in here, but there is nothing else living in here. So it's just the plants, and this is actually the way I like it. I'm certainly thinking sometimes about adding here some sort of frogs, so maybe poison dart frogs, but I'm not too keen on this, and I'm not too determined to keep any amphibians. I'm more of a fish keeper and plant keeper, so I'm not in a hurry of adding anything here, and most likely I will not be adding anything in here. So for now this space only has a collection of plants, all sorts of plants, and actually quite a lot of aquarium plants. I'll open the door so there is no glare. And a bit of a backstory. I was breaking down my paludarium. There is a link somewhere up here towards this video. And I saw that I need to keep some of the plants from paludarium, especially mosses, because I had this dripping moss wall in my paludarium, and I was really feeling bad about just throwing away all of those mosses. And approximately at that time I saw this enclosure. This is a Habitat 3 foot long and 3 foot high, and I think 45 centimeters deep mesh terrarium. It was offered on sale on Gumtree, which is a UK version of Craigslist, so basically you can buy all sort of used stuff there. And it wasn't obviously new enclosure. It was used before, but it wasn't in fairly good shape, and it was cheap, so I got it. And I said it was a mesh terrarium because the sides here, like on both sides, as well at the top, they were made of mesh, a metal mesh. So there was lots of air circulation, which was apparently great for some reptiles and amphibians that you could potentially keep in this enclosure, but it wasn't really suitable for me because I needed really high levels of humidity in order for all of these plants, basically tropical rainforest plants, to thrive. So I replaced mesh with acrylic, with transparent clear acrylic here on the lid of this enclosure and on the sides. So now I have, I would say, like, it's hard to say, but nearly, 92% of humidity. This is a fan that drives the air around to prevent any sort of moisture on the glasses and excess humidity. So it's at 90% humidity, and this is what these plants love. It's actually they're thriving here much better in my than in my open top paludarium. I will go through these plants and I will talk about the setup, how it functions, what sort of maintenance I'm doing on this setup. But first I will start by replacing the LED lamp that I have in here. So as you can guess, all of these plants, they need light desperately, probably even more than a lot of aquatic plants, which also need CO2, also need nutrients. In the case of these plants, they get all the CO2 from air. Nutrients, yeah, there's basically just a few plants like this Ficus sagittata and Ficus pumila, this one's the small one, and a small fern in the back. These are the only, and yes, this anthurium as well. These are the only plants that are actually planted in substrate. I will talk later about my substrate, but I only have a very thin layer of potting mix in here, and basically the rest of the plants, bromeliads and mosses, they don't grow in substrate, and so they depend quite heavily on light, on quality light. Currently I have here a very ordinary sort of budget LED lamp, aquarium LED lamp. It only has two colors, white and blue, so it's not a full spectrum LED light. It does provide sufficient lighting to my plants, but it's clearly not a quality light, and I would like to add something better and something more powerful. So we'll start with this. We'll start by unpacking and unboxing this 36 watt HYGGER LED lamp. This is a full spectrum aquarium lights, which obviously would be great for fish tank, for planted fish tank, but I think they would also work perfectly for a vivarium and a terrarium, and this is what I want to use them for. So let's have a look inside. I have received this light from HYGGER for free to test it, and I've had a few HYGGER LED lamps before, including this one here. So it comes with the typical holders, simple metal holders, very similar to other HYGGER LED lamps, with the instruction manuals. I guess this is a connection cord, power cord, charger, whatever you want to call it. Okay, decent lengths. Another improvement that I can see as compared to other HYGGER lights which I have is that this accumulator, this power bank, whatever you want to call it, is much smaller and lighter than it used to be in previous models, which is nice because for some of the models that I've had before, they were massive. Alright, so here is the lamp itself. It actually looks amazing. It's very thin, very light. It's probably the lightest HYGGER LED lamp that I've had so far. It looks very similar to HYGGER's or any high-end aquascaping lights that you might find on the market, but this is actually way cheaper. And yeah, it looks quite great. It also has this relatively simple, as compared to previous models, controls and settings. So it has a timer. You can put it on a different timer settings, on and off, brightness, and the color variation. This is great because it's very simple, and I guess it won't be too hard for me to set it up. I'm not going to use timer option because I will connect it to a timer that serves several of my LED lamps here, like for example the ones here. So I'm not going to be using the timer function, but I guess in terms of multi-spectrum control, the color control, I'm fine with whatever setting comes with this lamp, so I'm not going to be messing with this either. Looks amazing. Let's have it installed. So the lamp is installed. I'm also using another HYGGER lamp in here, smaller one, but this is a new lamp. You can see it's a full spectrum lamp, lots of different LED colors, very bright. I've set it up on the brightest setting, and it's certainly blasting lots of lights, and this is what I need for all these bromeliads and all these mosses growing up there. I'll show you how it looks from up top. It's actually very sleek and very thin. So what else can I say? I've had quite a few HYGGER LED lamps over the years, and they've all been top quality, lasting me for many years. I've never had a single one of them breaking or dysfunctioning. So I hope this one will be working as good as the others. Now I'll take you briefly through everything that I have in this vivarium. Starting with substrate, well, I have here a layer of sponge. It's a regular pool filter sponge, which we also use in canister filters for aquarium filtration. Then a layer of a mesh, just a regular mesh to create barrier. Then I have a layer of lava rock and alpha rock, just for extra biological material to provide more surface for bacteria. Yes, just like in fish tanks, in vivariums, we need more space and more volume for beneficial bacteria. And a layer of substrate, a relatively thin layer of substrate covered by leaf litter. I have a drain in here. It's hidden right here. This is actually a Heim canister outflow valve. It goes all the way to the bottom, and I would just attach a hose, just a regular aquarium siphon hose in here, and I will pump out all the excess water which accumulates on the bottom of this enclosure. The only three pieces, well, apart from LED lights, I have two other pieces of equipment in here, which is this fan, relatively cheap and small fan. I think it is a no brand fan, which does a great job of moving the air around. It has its sensor in here. And I have a misting system, also very basic and simple misting system, which does the job. So the only bit of maintenance that I do is to fill up this canister with filtered water. My misting system is connected to this canister. It doesn't look very nice at this point, so I will probably get a piece of black acrylic to cover this space between the wall and vivarium, so that this canister is not going to be visible, but it is what it is for now. When it comes to the background, I've used a very similar system to what I've done when making my paludarium, drip wall paludarium. Well, this has no drip wall. It has a layer of silicone attached to the glass, covered with expansion foam, and expansion foam is covered with another layer of silicone, to which I have attached some cork bark, some pieces of driftwood, and a lot of cocoa fiber. So that's the background. Much of it is now covered by mosses. By the way, this system is only about 3 months old, but nevertheless mosses are growing really nice in here. All of these are aquarium mosses, well, aquatic species of mosses, approximately 6 or 7 different species of mosses. They are doing really great in those places where they get enough moisture and where they get a lot of light. So basically up there, closer to the lamp, lots of growth. A bit in the center or in this shadowy areas, moss doesn't grow that well, but it still survives. So I would say aquatic mosses, when you grow them immersed, they really enjoy bright lights. Well, moving on with aquarium plants. It's quite hard to notice among the ferns, but this is a Cryptocarina venti in here, and there is another Cryptocarina venti in there. I've added them recently as really tiny bulbs, like literally pieces of roots, and they seem to be growing now. In here I have another Cryptocarina venti and Echinodorus argentinensis in here, and another Cryptocarina venti down here. Also seems to be enjoying this moist conditions and growing well. This is a mini anthurium, which is struggling, not really growing well. In here I have Ficus pumila, the small leaves, more mosses, a species of fern. It is a climbing species of fern. I don't remember the name of this fern. This is Ficus sagittata. And well, another fern in here, and another ficus. I think it was SP Columbia, something like this. The rest of the plants in here are bromeliads. They all belong to the genus Neorigelia, and there are approximately 7 species of bromeliads. They're mostly cultivars. Don't remember the names of these particular variants and species. This is, I think, Red Flame, and this is Rabbit. Don't remember what these are, or this one is. But they're doing great, and I actually quite enjoy them in here because they add so much color and so much character to this setup. But overall, yeah, I like this slice of tropical rainforest. It's quite lush and beautiful, and it actually smells amazing with this real nature. Unfortunately, camera can't pass it on. No plans so far to add anything in here because I enjoy it as it is. I enjoy growing plants in here, and I'm planning to experiment with more aquarium plants in here because of this high levels of moisture and high quality lighting that I have in here, and decent level of nutrients in substrate. I'm pretty sure that lots of species of Cryptocorini, Echinodorus, and maybe Anubias will thrive in this setting. So slowly I will be adding more and more of aquarium plants. Maybe I will add a few more bromeliads as well, but for now it feels more or less complete. So yeah, I hope you like this little or not so little enclosure, which is a great space for me to grow aquarium plants and to grow other tropical plants, and a nice looking setup overall. So yeah, don't forget to leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.